Okay, welcome back. Again, we've been dividing by primes. We did a factor tree by primes. Might pick up here. Let's pick up with the factor tree by doing 8 and 12 just real quick. Let's do some factor trees of 8. To get 8, you can have 2 times 4. All right, let's factor out 2 as a prime number. 4 is 2 times 2. So 8 would equal 2 times 2 times 2. 12, let's pick a factor pair of, let's say, 3 and 4. All right, 3 is already prime. 4 gets factored out to 2 times 2. So 12 would equal 2 times 2 times 3, doing our factor trees. Now, we're going to take 8 and 12 and divide by primes to find our greatest common factor and our least common multiple. Anytime we see greatest common factor, we'll see GCF. Anytime we see least common multiple, we'll see LCM. Now, we have been doing the factors as finding the greatest common factor. We started that by doing 1 times 8, 2 times 4, and writing our individual factors of 1, 2, 4, and 8. Taking 12 and finding our pairs, 1 times 12, 2 times 6, 3 times 4. So our individual factors were 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, and 12. And our common factors, let's see, it's up on the board a little bit, I wrote it a little bit, here we go. All right, so 1 is common, 2 is common, 4 is common, and our greatest common factor would have been 4. All right. Our multiples, we've done it as 8, 16, 24, 12, 24, 36, and our least common multiple, whoops, I circled the wrong one, would have been 24. But we're going to use primes now to do a shortcut to find those greatest common factors and those least common multiples. All right, so we have 8. And we have 8 divided by 2. 2 is the only even number that's prime. That gives us 4, 2, and 2. So we can. This is dividing by primes. You could use the factor trees as well if you wanted to. So 8 equals 2 times 2 times 2. 12 divided by 2 gives you 6. Divided by 2 gives you 3. All right, so 12, again, is 2 times 2 times 3. Now, so since we have factored our numbers out by the primes, we're going to see if we can find our greatest common factor. All right, so we look to see what is common. Okay, well, we have a 2 here, and we have a 2 here. So we can circle those. Those are common. We have a 2 and another 2, so we'll circle those. These are not common, so it simply means now I have 2 times 2 is 4. My GCF for 8 and 12 is 4. Remember, we came up with 4 the other way we did it, but now we're trying to learn the shortcut way of finding it. All right, let's find the greatest or the least common multiple now. Now I'm going to go ahead and erase my circles here because we're going to recircle some things here. All right, so but for the least common multiple, remember multiple is multiplied. All right, so we're going to take 8 has more 2's, so we're going to take all of these 2's, and then 12 has a 3, so we're going to add this or multiply this 3. So we have 2 times 2 times 2 times 3, and so our least common multiple will be 24. Remember, we came up with 24 when we were writing out the multiples, 8, 16, 24. Then we did 12, 24, 36, and we came up with 24 being the first multiple that was common. All right, so but this is now doing it by primes to find out a quick, snappy way of doing it. Let's compare 2 other numbers and see how we do. Let's do 16 and 20. All right, let's start out by dividing it out by primes. All right, so 16 divided by 2 gives me 8. 8 divided by 2 gives me 4. 4 divided by 2 will give me 2. I've now divided it all out by primes, so I'm going to write 16 is 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. All right, 20. Let's divide it by primes. We'll use 2. 20 divided by 2 is going to give you 10. 10 divided by 2 will give you 5. All right, so 20 equals 2 times 2 times 5. All right, so let's find our greatest common factor. A 2 and a 2. It's a little better view here. And a 2 and a 2. But then we all have a 2 and a 5. Nothing else is common. So now we have 2 times 2. So our greatest common factor is going to be 4. All right, how about multiples? All right, I'm going to erase my circles here. Go and write this out here again. 2 times 2. 2 times 2. All right, now again, we're going to take the number that has the most 2's. All right, so this is the most 2's. And then down here we have a 5. So we have to multiply this 5. Well, we know 2 times 2 times 2 times 2 is 16. Now we got to do 16 times 5. That's going to be 30. And that's going to be 80. So our least common multiple is going to be 80. Now, aren't you glad we didn't have to do all of those multiplying them out? 20, 40, 60, 80. But then you're up 16, 32. You're going to have to continue doing your multiples of 16. So we have a greatest common factor of 4. The least common multiple, that's not a very good L, least common multiple of 80. I think I'll try one more with you and let you walk me through it. Let's do numbers, let's say 9 and 21. All right, so we're going to find the greatest common factor first. Okay, factor out my 9 by primes. My 9 is going to equal 3 times 3. Let's factor out 21 by primes. 21 is going to equal 3 times 7. All right, so my greatest common factor. Which ones are common? That's right, we have a set of 3's. Do we have anything else common? No. So my greatest common factor is going to be 3. How about my least common multiple? All right. Well, 9 has more 3's, so we have to use all the 3's on the 9's. And then 21 has a different number of 7, so we have to use 7. All right, so now we have 9 times 7, so our least common multiple is going to be 63. Again, dividing by primes or doing your factor trees by primes, it helps find this information a lot quicker. Instead of writing out every multiple or every factor, this gives us just by the primes and all the different information we can find. Now I'm going to leave you with a problem on the board to work with, and I want you to give me the greatest common factor and the least common multiple of 14 and 30. And so when I come back on the next lesson, we'll start by finding the greatest common factor and the least common multiple of 14 and 30. Again, thank you for liking and watching and subscribing and sharing. Please continue to do so. I do appreciate it, and I pray you have a great day.